With over 400 celebrity interviews and tons of pop culture nerdiness, Too Opinionated is a safe haven for your inner geek. Find us at Meisterkhan.com or on YouTube under Meisterkhan Pod. And please subscribe. It would really help us out. Thanks, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated. I'm so excited today. I've got actor Ethan McDowell and our good friend Mark Roberts of the Dead Cards with me today. So welcome to both of you.
How's it going, guys? Thank you.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. Mark said, "Yeah, you ever heard of Ethan McDowell?" And I was like, "Yes, get him for the show." He didn't even have to finish the sentence. I was like, "Get him on the show."
Thanks, man.
Hey, you know what? I always deliver, man.
You always bring the best guests.
No, I appreciate it, gentlemen. Thanks for having me on.
You know, I keep telling you, you don't have to come with them, but you keep showing up. So
sometimes, you know what? Sometimes I'm feeling charitable and I do you the favor of not showing up. So, you know, I try.
You do great, Mark. We always love to have Mark on. I keep saying we need to do something like Saturday Night Live where if you're on 5 times, you get like a smoking jacket or something.
Sure. Yeah. Like a corduroy. I don't know.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
We'd only have Mark would be the only member right now.
He would have 10 jackets lined up behind him.
Well, so let's start this way, Ethan. Tell me a little bit about what got you into acting. Why'd you want to become an actor? As we were talking off camera, not an easy profession.
Yeah. Not the simplest thing. Yeah, for me it was just movies. Just loved watching movies. And like through high school, how our like education system was set up, we had like a block scheduling.
Yeah.
And we got to have a free block for one of those schedules. So I just went home and watched my movies with my buddies and stuff. So from then on out, I was like, I don't know, making short films with my brother and, horrible short films.
So your free block, you left school and went and watched movies.
Yeah, just watch movies, action movies.
Oh, man. I was missing out.
Yeah.
Actually, I left school when I wasn't supposed to, and I was watching this movie. Obviously, Ethan did it the right way.
You know, when I was a senior in high school, this was 1988, and they tested a no attendance policy. All right, so you weren't penalized for missing as long as you passed the classes. Well, I missed 100 days.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a good amount.
Well, so the next year they got rid of that policy. I'm pretty sure I was the reason.
That was your fault.
I killed the no.
You're still acing the tests though. Like I don't need this. All right.
You need that.
I got other things to do. Yeah. It's funny. Yeah. But yeah, that's for me. That's kind of when it started. In my buddies, I remember we had an English class. I don't know, just in high school we had to do like a book report or something like that. Yeah. There was a short story called The Lottery, which is about this little town that has they have a ritual every year that the whole town gets together and draw a lottery ticket. Whoever gets that ticket gets stoned to death, like with rocks. And yeah, it's nuts. So we read this short story and we're like, you know what? Let's make a movie version of this. So me and my Yahoo buddies decided we asked the teacher, like, hey, is it okay if we leave class and make a movie? She's like, oh, I don't know about that. But she's like, I guess, kind of, going back on everything that she's ever taught. But yeah, so forever grateful to Mrs. Cummerfeld, was my English teacher who let us go out there. We made movies and we didn't stop laughing the whole time. It was horrible. It was a horrible movie. But from then on out, I thought, man, there's a way to actually do this professionally. We could do it. But
that's awesome. Why were they stoning people to death?
It was a whole thing. It was like, they have to do it for the good of the city or something like that. But it's a ritual. But there's an outsider comes in and looks around and he notices in the cemetery all the dates are all the same date. He's like, that's weird. Sure enough, the ritual comes around when he comes to town. But
See, now I got to see this movie.
yeah, well, my version, no,
Yeah.
that's
That's the
horrible.
one we want to see. Yes.
That's the only one I want to see.
Yeah, it was because we shot it on the old where you slap the VHS inside, and then we had the VCR that had 2 slots, so we were just editing that way. So you put one tape in,
Oh,
pause it,
yes.
and hope you get it, and then if you don't, you're like, oh, that shot's gone forever, and you just keep going back and forth. But pretty
How did
funny.
you
So,
how did you film the stoning?
it was tinfoil rocks and a lot of ketchup.
I really want
That'll
to
work.
Blockbuster. It was a blockbuster. But yeah, we finished that up.
Did you do any theater at all in school?
Not really. No, we had I was in a small town. I grew up in Wyoming, so it was a smaller town, and we had a theater department, I think. But I just kind of did like the little tiny things, but no theater really. Then I went to college at the University of Wyoming, and I got a degree in kinesiology. So I was going a whole different route. I was going to be through exercise and sports science and be a physical therapist and trying to go that route. And that's what took me out to LA, like north of LA in the Antelope Valley out there. It's out in the desert. And my mom's side of the family lived out there. And she randomly one day, I was finishing my degree at a physical therapy office. And my grandmother said, "Hey, I got a friend." It was like her friend's daughter's friend's cousins, whatever. Is doing this play and they need a stage runner. I'm like, I don't know what that is. I said, well, all you have to do is you got to pick up a coat rack and move it over there when they get off set. And well, okay. So I was just I was in the shadows of this little black box theater, and everybody was having so much fun. I couldn't believe it. They were just laughing, and doing their whole thing. But randomly, a lady that was in the crowd came backstage after the show and said, "Hey, I need a cop and a waiter for Guys and Dolls, which is a play." And I said, "I don't know what that is either, but it's the musical." And I said, I don't sing, maybe karaoke, but that's as far as it goes. She's like, doesn't matter, just come on in there. So I said, okay, yeah. So I started doing theater there, and then on day one, that's where I met my wife. Was at that theater rehearsal.
That's awesome.
So,
Nice.
yeah. And she'd been in it for a while. She'd been acting in theater for a long time, but yeah. And then once we met and started hanging out, we're like, well, let's take it serious. And we moved into the big city of Los Angeles. So
yeah,
we just
do you guys
pursuing
read lines together if one of you's up for a part?
Yeah. It's a full-time job.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's what we're kind of talking about.
You've popped up on a bunch of stuff that we watched. The one that I remember, I know, of course, you did Walking Dead, of course.
Sure. Yeah.
But outside of that is you were on that little Netflix show, that Teenage Bounty Hunter show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We'd had Devin Hales, who was one of the girls in
Yeah, she's wonderful, man.
She's terrific. We had her. It was pretty early on when we started the podcast. But that was one I didn't find. That was one Emily found and got me watching it. But you were great on there.
No, thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, it's always fun. Like for that, just comedies are fun just for the sake of as you're shooting to try to get each other laughing and stuff. But it was just a good time. Like if you ever get opportunities to do like improv during a scene, like where you just kind of make up the lines as they go and hope nobody laughs and cross your fingers. That was a whole bunch of fun. It was cool. Yeah,
that was a good show. We were disappointed it didn't get a season 2.
Yeah. I think it was just not quite enough of an audience, but the people who
I know, but the people we got
loved
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got to ask you, did you play Kevin Costner in something?
I did. Oh yeah. There was the Bobby Brown story. So
yes.
In the Bobby Brown story, it was a 2-part series, like a mini series, and it was the portion where Whitney Houston is I think in the middle of filming Bodyguard.
Oh, right.
Back in the day. So they had a whole.
I was like, why in the world would he? But that, it makes total sense. Yeah, Bodyguard.
Yeah, but if you blink, you will not see me. So, but I'm there as Kevin Costner.
Have you met Kevin yet?
I have not. I've heard he's a nice guy, though. I've heard he's.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out when you let him know that you played him on TV.
Yeah, then he'll probably go watch and be like, I don't think it's me.
You're not submitting, stuff to Yellowstone and be like, hey, if you need somebody, I've already played it.
I'm kicking and screaming trying to get on there.
You've got that look. You look like you could be part of that family.
Yeah, well, that's where I grew up. Yellowstone's right next to where I grew up. So yeah, it's in my veins.
Well, they keep making prequels. So
Yeah. I got a couple buddies who one guy was on 1923 and another buddy was in 1887,
83, I think.
or 83. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Have you ever got to do a Western?
Yeah, I have a buddy named Crispian Belfridge. He has a group of buddies that shoot movies, and this a director called Chip Baker, who's a duo team of Danny Garcia and some guys. We're gonna shoot a kind of a spaghetti Western.
Ooh,
Said, well,
that's the best kind.
Yeah, like kind of a vintage feel. And they said, well, we need a bad guy for it. And my buddy Crispian reached out and said, hey man, if you want, you can come out and we'll shoot this movie. And I said, okay, well, what do you mean come out? He says, well, it's in Spain. I'm like, what do you mean it's in Spain?
Wow.
So sure enough, yeah, we went out to, it's called Almeria, Spain, kind of in the southern part of
awesome.
Spain there, out in the Tybee Desert. And they have sets there that were actually from Sergio Leone's Once in a Time in the West, or Once Upon a Time in the West. The sets are still up. So the whole thing is there, like where Henry Ford, I forget. But anyways, just the fact
Henry Ford, I think, was in.
I'm forgetting.
Yeah. I think he was though. Yeah.
Yeah, but pretty crazy experience. So we're just, we are not that caliber, but we're definitely riding on horses, shooting up the.
Could you ride the horse?
A little bit, but I never really was. I had friends that had horses, but I wouldn't say I rode often. But
yeah.
I love to ride though. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I've always loved horses, but have no desire to get on.
Yeah,
I love them from afar.
Because there's a way you can get off of that thing, and it's a long way down. But
yeah. My wife Emily, when she was a teenager, she got too close to the back of a horse and got kicked in the head.
Oh, really? Oh man, that's.
I always tell her, I was like, "That's probably why you married me. Your judgment."
Look at that. Said, it kind of balanced everything out. Like, all right.
You beat me that punchline, man. You don't need me.
So let's talk a little bit of Walking Dead.
Sure.
So your group, the Reapers, they didn't end too well.
No, we're just a bunch of nice guys. I don't know what happened.
No, I don't get it.
Weird.
I don't get it. Did you read any of the comics?
Not really. I had some buddies that were heavy into it, and they would always. I was heavy into the show. My wife and I watched every single episode from day one, but not so much the comics. I don't really know why I didn't get into the graphic novels.
Comics are more violent than the show was.
Yeah, I've definitely skimmed through now, but I'm just like, oh man. Yeah, it's just great storytelling. Yeah.
Yeah, it's we've been lucky enough, and Mark's brought a lot of people that have been on the show, and it's what I've found is that everybody that's been on The Walking Dead is just super nice. They're just good people, which you wouldn't expect from a zombie show.
No, a very violent show.
Very violent show, but everybody's just kind of very chill, very nice.
And I always gravitate towards the bad guys. I get Reapers, I get Saviors.
That says something about your character.
Yeah, we have more fun, guys. We have more fun.
Right. That's exactly right. How did that role come about? How did you land that?
Yeah, well, so it was the kind of a standard audition thing where casting puts a breakdown of scripts and sides, but everything was dummy sides. So everything is made up. So the sides are like the little bits and pieces of script that you get to audition with. And I knew that they were auditioning a whole bunch of people for this common thing, but we didn't even know that it was the Reapers or anything. They just said, well, it's kind of like this faction of kind of military type people. And there's a whole bunch of people that I knew reading for all the roles. We all read the same sides for the most part, I think. And you kind of cross your fingers and try to forget about it the best you can, which you can't ever. ever.
Right. See, I'm glad
But,
you said that, because most actors are like, yeah, I just move on. I was like, no, you don't.
Yeah, well, you kind of have to, but there are those ones you're like, you know what if, that whole thing. But
Yeah.
but then getting the call and you start showing up, and it's just unbelievable. You can tell it's a tight knit family that's been doing it for, that's season 11. It's crazy. This is a long time, but yeah, they just plug you right in, and everybody's just like a finely oiled machine. But yeah,
That's awesome.
still pinching myself.
Were they real tight on like the security around the episodes, or did they take special precautions with that stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. I even as I was shooting, I didn't ever have a full script for any of the episodes or anything. Maybe the last one I did for the very art or the Reaper's last one, but yeah, nothing. So it's kind of funny to be like, I guess I think we like each other. I don't know. Yeah, just kind of roll the dice, and they'll tell you like, oh, maybe try something different. But yeah, very secretive. Just because of the following, if somebody gets a little tiny bit, and then they're off to the races. But yeah,
I'm sure you were disappointed to be done with the show, but for me, if I have to leave a show, I'd rather go out, with a bang.
Yeah. And I went out with 2 bangs, one right in the back, one right in the forehead. Yeah, the funny thing about that episode is that me and Zach Zadalis, who played Boone, the other Reaper that was with me, and Lynn or Leah, and as I was reading that script, we start walking off into the sunset. I'm like, are you kidding me? We're gonna live. The 3 of us Reapers are gonna live. And then sure enough, I think Maggie had a little bit different idea, but I couldn't believe it. And it's pretty funny just to be like, no. But yep, that was all she wrote. The good guys.
Would your wife think about you getting killed?
Brutal. She's like, oh, just to see her flinch. And then even like,
did you tell her, or did you let her be surprised?
I let her be surprised, but I think she knew pretty much what was going on, because she could hear me reading the script. So she's like, that's not good.
Not gonna end well.
Yeah, that's not gonna end well at all. But yeah, pretty surreal though. Just the whole, it's crazy to be just hanging out in the same space as the people you've been watching on TV for over a decade. It's just everybody's really nice, really sweet, and they make wonderful television. So yeah,
it's terrific. It's terrific. Mark, did you make Ethan a card yet?
Not yet. Trying to find some images, and I think we were talking about that, and he's got.
Don't feel bad. He hadn't made me one yet either.
It's coming. Yeah, no pressure, Mark. Man,
I'm hoping he gives me a little bit of hair in mine.
Yeah, sure.
I tried to give myself a little bit of hair, but
little 80s,
the mullet
80s hair maybe. A little mullet.
Sure. Yeah, the classic. Yeah, that's what was funny when Mark and I met. We were at the camp for the convention there, and Mark came up and goes, "Yeah, we're doing the what was it called? Survive the Night? Is that what it was?"
Yeah, Survive the Night.
Yeah, Survive the Night, which is like an interactive maze, kind of like an escape room kind of thing, but with an element of laser tag into it.
Yeah.
So we had a whole army of a couple of us Reapers. I don't know, was there a couple Saviors maybe? I think we had a pretty good blend.
We had we had Lance was with us. Yep. So he's been a walker.
Yeah.
He's been very featured, I guess. He's a stunt man. And then we had but we had, who else did we have? So we had Wesley and his wife Sarah. They run Survive the Night, and they've adapted it so they can do it indoors or outdoors. And they were like, hey, we have room for another, like, we can do another session if you want to play. And I was like, heck yeah, I want to play. I was like, who am I playing with? They're like, you got to build your team. And I was like, oh, I got this.
Yeah, you were team captain, man. You were team captain.
I'm up there. I'm like, Ethan, let's go.
Like, oh, I'm in. I am in.
And yeah, I tried to.
Well, who doesn't like laser tag?
Oh yeah, it was fun.
It was a fun element. Yeah, I like to take it very serious though. I wasn't letting no zombie come behind.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, we were keeping up the back end of the group.
That's right. Yep.
I'm not going to speak for Ethan, but I was letting the smart people figure out all the clues, because I was like, I don't know what's going on here.
Oh, I had no business. Yeah, no business doing that.
Solid strategy.
I'll just shoot stuff. I'm good.
Yeah. What do you mean mathematics?
What?
I've got a laser gun.
That's right. I don't need math.
Yeah, geez.
What did you
No,
have
that's
like
fun.
zombies chasing you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they would come out of the kind of the woodworks, each room that you go in, as everybody's trying to solve these puzzles under a time limit, and then sure enough, they'd come out of nowhere.
Oh, so you got to fend them off while you're trying to.
Oh yeah. Oh
Okay,
yeah.
I like that.
One of the scariest moments of Mark in my life. No.
Hey,
I've always seen those. Have you seen the runs where they do the little runs and at some point during the run, the zombies start chasing you?
Yeah, I think that's
I was
hilarious.
like,
Yeah.
I don't want any part of that.
I was gonna say I've had that, but I didn't know what you're talking about, so I'm gonna stay out of that conversation. But anyway,
different kind of thing. Kind of thing. Yeah.
Now we had a couple reapers. We had Elijah was with us.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
Elijah Teo was there also, I believe.
Yeah, Teo was there.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a pretty good group. Did you win?
Oh yeah,
we did. We
Okay,
did.
okay.
Yeah.
I picked smart people.
Made me look team good. Captain, Yeah.
Make
team
me
captain,
look
man. We had a good leader.
Well, that's all, as a captain, the most important job is putting good people around.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
And Mark ran a tough ship. He ran a tough ship.
From the back.
Everybody. Yeah. You guys go ahead.
Go up there where the zombies are.
I got it covered back here against the wall.
And Ethan was back there with me, but I know what he was thinking. He's like, man, this guy's not confident. I'm going to have to watch the back.
Oh, I knew I was in good hands. There was no way anything was coming in there. No, it was a really cool experience. So just kind of a fun thing for the guests and everybody to be involved in.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks again, Mark, man, for having me do that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I'm trying to get Mike to come out there, and
he has tried for at least the last couple.
Yeah,
it's fun, man. It's a good time.
I won't make it at some
people.
Hey, make it out.
Who did we have out there? We had your buddy Ming Chin was there for one.
Oh, Ming was out there.
Yeah. Ming is awesome.
Trip. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Ming has a table that he never sits at.
He just roams around.
He roams around meeting everybody.
Well, he's a fan.
That's a picture of me up there. What is that doing there? I'm supposed to sit there?
I think Ming's just a fan. He's there to see the sights, meet people.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've tried to get me to do a few shows and set up a table and stuff. I'm like, nobody's going to want to come talk to a podcaster. I'd rather go to the show and wander around.
No, you would do both, man. You'd be surprised.
Well, now that I know Ming just leaves his table, maybe I will
sit at his table.
Yes, at his table. You could, man. You guys.
I'm another one of the comic book guys. Oh shoot! So, Ethan, you are officially part of the Marvel universe.
Yeah, pretty crazy, man. Yeah, all of that kind of happened around the same time, like with The Walking Dead and Miss Marvel, and even the part of Doom Patrol. Also, like everything was all.
Oh yeah, that's true. You're part of the DC universe for that.
Yeah. Still pinching myself, man. Just being, growing up. That's.
Seems like you should have a part or something.
Sure. Yeah.
Now it was neat seeing you on Miss Marvel, and we love you on Doom Patrol. I was disappointed that newest season's the last one.
Yeah. I guess. It sounds like there's still 6 episodes coming out, I believe, to wrap it up.
We still got a few.
Yeah. It's always sad though. Same with like Teenage Bounty Hunters. Just when you hear that goodbye, like, well, this is it. Like, okay.
And that 4 seasons though, that's not a bad run.
That's great. Yeah,
that's decent.
Yeah.
Well, and how unique the show is, it's a ragtag crew of misfits, and I thought they did a wonderful job. And everybody there also very nice. They're just making each other laugh. How can you not laugh?
We've had a bunch of that cast on too, and they're a very tight knit group, and good people. Yeah. That was a good show. It did a really good job adapting from the comic books.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, because it was
Really.
so far out there. You know what I mean? Like the idea is like, well, how can they bring this villain in? And they did it perfect. Like, oh
Yeah.
wow.
I know it's got the weirdest villains, the weirdest heroes, if you want to call them that. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
Brendan Fraser got back on with that. That kind of got him back
Yeah,
into stuff.
it did. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, a cool experience. I always liked that they had my character, Agent Forsyth, as the always just trying to bring the best out of all the superheroes. You know, maybe not the right way, but definitely trying my hardest to help them
He had
out.
good intentions.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and you do a fantastic job as Agent Forsyth.
Thanks, Mark, man.
My
Thank you,
my
man.
my family gets tired of hearing me say, "There's Ethan again."
Yeah, yeah.
They're like, we know.
We're watching the show. We're watching the show.
We're right here with you. Can you be quiet?
Well, weren't
Yeah,
you were an agent on Miss Marvel, right? You're
yeah,
typecasting you.
yeah. I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah, yeah. Agent Barry. Yeah. So
Agent Barry, that's right.
for Marvel, that was even. I would say it's even more secretive than Walking Dead was when it came down to
Really?
what it is. Yeah, just because it's. I don't know. There's so many like different little like not red lines, but things like, if you say this, I don't know, you feel like when you go outside, you're being watched. Like, wait a minute, I'm not going to say anything. But really, really crazy experience. I mean, like in a good way of like, there's a scene where a gigantic, was like a Humvee gets flipped upside down, and they really do it in real time there. I mean, it's all safe and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but to see that amount of production going into maybe 3 seconds on the screen is it's a really cool learning experience. Just to kind of be in the sidelines and watch it all
That's awesome.
be put together. Yeah, really neat, really neat.
You've hit a lot of the comic book stuff, which is, for me, I'd be like, if I was going to be an actor, that's what I'd be like. This is all I'm doing.
Yeah,
Either comic book, movie, or nothing.
Oh, I love it, man. I love it.
Or show. But
I think you kind of
did,
took that stance, though, Mike.
Well, you what?
I think you already took that stance.
I did take that stance. That's why I'm podcasting.
Yeah.
No. That's why Mike doesn't invite me on very often.
Hollywood was just like, nope.
Nah.
No, it's great though, man. It's great.
Now me, I'm pretty much typecast also as the guy that never gets on the show.
Yeah.
And
we love you for it.
Yeah. I've got that radio face and silent movie voice.
Now, Ethan, we remembered you on the Gifted, and then I wasn't even watching this one, even though it was based on a graphic novel. Was that Raising Dion? My and I sat down with her and ended up getting kind of interested in it. That was a really good show.
Yeah, it was I like that it was based around a kid for Raising Dion, the kid with superpowers. I thought they did a good job. Like there was still a nice innocence to it, and he's still trying to figure out what it is. And I think the message was a really cool aspect to that show.
I mean, it'd be difficult if you were a parent and your child started showing superpowers.
You look across the room and he has some stuff floating around like, whoa, this is new. Okay. Now this was not in the books that I read. No.
Yeah. I mean, that to me, just thinking from a parent side, that would open up a lot of issues that you would have to think through.
Yeah. Well, because who do you talk to about that? You can't really go to the doctor like, I know this isn't normal, but have you ever seen this? Like, nope.
It keeps lifting the furniture.
Yeah. It's great for when we have to vacuum, but other than that,
I'm a little worried. But yeah, I thought that was a neat angle on that. I wanted to ask you, you've got some projects coming out. I wanted to ask you. I know you probably can't tell a whole lot about them, but
sure.
Are you doing a ATF project?
Yeah, well, so ATF is a buddy of mine. I've worked with him a couple times now. Matt Berlangi is. I can't say too much about it, but it's based on a book that a friend of his, based on real true events that happened through the ATF, and it's that approach. So we're still in the process of getting that kind of pre-production kind of thing. So we're not shooting it or anything, but I'm really excited for that one. That'll be fun just because it's based on true events. So, you want to do your best to do justice to what, to what the real people live and all of that
my
stuff.
brother-in-law runs an ATF team in Austin.
Oh,
and
wow.
I saw that and I was like, oh yeah, he'll be wanting to watch that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But yeah, it's just, telling the right story and getting it out there. But the script is wonderful and people involved are great. So yeah, I'm excited.
You haven't started filming yet though?
No, not yet. Okay. Yeah, still in the early stages, but yeah.
How about the Judy Blume project?
Yeah. So Judy Blume is, back in, I think it was in the early 70s, I think is when it was, but it was the Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, which, was kind of like it was a book that was perfect for everybody, but you're kind of like, you get in trouble if you read it. It's like, oh, no, you can't read that.
All her books were, you read those in secret.
She pushed that bar, but yeah, I have a small role in that, but the fact that I'm a part of that kind of a legacy when it comes to, Judy Blume, she, for a lot of girls, like that was the go-to source of anything, like to figure out like who you are, like when you're growing up and everything like that. But that cast and everything, that's another situation where it's just, it's going to be hilarious. Everybody was great. And Kelly Fremont Craig is the director. And she did she was selected by Judy Blume. She said, if anybody's going to tell the story, it's you. And she was wonderful. I can't wait for that. Yeah.
Is it a movie?
September, I think. It's a film. Yeah. It'll be in theaters. It's from Lionsgate. But
yeah. I was looking through that cast. I mean, everybody on it,
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Another moment where you kind of pinch yourself. And,
I've read a few of her books, secretly back in the day.
Sure.
Some of that,
we had to get
we
the
all
knowledge. We had to know what's,
we have to know what's going on. Going on. That was middle, when you're in middle school, that was pretty racy stuff.
Yeah. Whoa, wait, what is that? Then you start looking it up and like, oh man, that's cool. Okay, so this is serious.
But you, Mark, do you read any Judy Blume?
If I ever would read, I might try that sometime.
No, sure. Was it I wanted to say Flubber, but was it Flubber? Maybe Flubber?
I don't remember. Did she do the Flubber one with the flying car and all that stuff? What is that? I don't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I say it's been too long. It wouldn't have mattered if I read it or not.
There's still time. Mark.
Still time. That one, I think, is probably the one that is most well known. If you bring it up, that's the one everybody kind of recognizes. So it doesn't surprise me. But I wonder if the idea is to start making several of those.
I'm not sure. I know that she kept the whole rights to it and everything really close to her chest for a very long time. So I know that a lot of different directors over the years have tried to direct it, but she just was like, the timing's not right. Or, every time it kept kind of going on. And then, they settled here. And I think it's the perfect match. It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Yeah, that's awesome. I saw you were in that and I was like, that's kind of, even a small role in that's a big deal.
Yeah. Very exciting.
Okay, so the last one I wanted to check on was Space Command.
Yeah. So
that's another one, like from a sci-fi standpoint, it's loaded.
Yeah. So Space Command, it was a worldwide talent search, and the creators is Mark and Elaine Zickery, and they've done all kinds of TV back in the day. Like Mark, when he was in his 20s, wrote the Twilight Zone companion. So he was the one that went around, and as a kid, he just started interviewing everybody who was on the Twilight Zone or directed episodes or whatever. And he just had this idea, well, I'm just going to put it in like an interview type documentary biography type book and sell it. It was a huge mega hit. And then he had some buddies who were working through animation. So he would write for, the old He-Man cartoons, the Smurfs and all those cartoons back in the day, and kept going. And like Star Trek Next Generation, Lazarus Man, Deep Space Nine, just everything. He just did all kinds of stuff, but he had this idea that instead of taking his idea and like going to the studios, he said, well, what if we do a Kickstarter campaign and try to see if fans it's something. Yeah. but one of the perks was that there was 2 roles that he wanted to fill, and he said that it would be a worldwide talent search, so anybody in the world could audition for these 2 roles. And there was a Captain Matt Kimmer and Captain, or I forget, but two little roles, and Cadet Bradbury. Sorry. So one guy's a pilot, one guy's a captain. I'm like, well, I want to go for the captain. I want to be the tough guy. But they had a whole thing, so it was online, and you could see everybody on the screen, like who was still up. And I think there's over like 3,500. I think auditions came in, and over 7,000 people asked about it and stuff like that. But it was just funny to kind of see like week after week and start to dwindle down, and people would disappear, and like, oh. So then they kept whittling down, and I made it into the top 20. I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. And then they whittled it down to the top 5, and I wasn't on the list anymore. So I was like, that was a neat experience. I had that opportunity. But I randomly got an email from the director and his wife, and they said, well, hey, we don't know if you're right for this character, but we have another character in mind that if you're interested. I'm like, oh yeah, yeah. But yeah, they gave me the firm handshake and said, you're the guy for the job. And now I'm playing Captain Jack Kimmer, who I'm in the first, I guess it'll be 6 episodes, 6-hour-long episodes of Space Command. We've shot the first, I think we're almost into 5 episodes, but really surreal. Like the day that I found out, they said, well, have you ever been to San Diego Comic-Con? I said, I have not, but I've dreamt of it. I said, well, we'd like you to come down. We'll announce you and the other winners. So a good buddy of mine, Brian McClure, is he's based out here, who's also in The Walking Dead. He was the locomotive driver towards the end of the episode. Yeah, so he's in that, and Space Command. He's in Doom Patrol also. So we always laugh. We're in the same shows together. But yeah, good group of people, and they announced us at Comic-Con, and we were off to the races. And he has legends, sci-fi legends around, like Doug Jones is in it. Robert Picardo, Bruce Boxleitner, Bill Mooney, Mira Furlan, who's in my
Mira passed, but she got some stuff filmed, I guess, before she passed.
Yeah, she's a beautiful person, man, beautiful person. But yeah, it was pretty heartbreaking to. Yeah, so it's how it goes, but horrible.
Well, I was just a big Babylon 5 fan. Of course, she'd been acting for decades before Babylon 5 came out. But loved her in that, and we'd chatted off and on trying to schedule her to come on the show, and then she passed.
She'd have been great. Yeah,
it crushed me too. I was just devastated. But I did get to talk with Robert Picardo, and he's the one that brought it up the first time. When I asked him what he was working on, that's the one he brought up was.
Cool. Yeah. He's hilarious, man.
He did the whole interview eating apple pie.
There you go.
On camera eating apple pie is hilarious.
Bold choice.
It's not too bad if you're going to eat something, but yeah, he's a good guy.
But Space Command has been it's kind of been an ongoing thing that's been just forever a gift to get to walk. Like rub elbows.
Does he know where it's gonna show? Has he got somebody to pick it up yet?
Not yet. I mean, I think we started back in 2015, or 2013. Maybe it's been a bit.
Wow.
We've been at it for a bit. Yeah. But it's all because it's crowdfunded. So everybody that has put in is, they're legitimately a part of what's going on. It's fun to have some people or some of the backers will get to have roles, like walk-on roles, and we'll get to act and stuff. It's cool. A whole lot of fun. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
it's
still
painful.
Around.
It's painful how long some of that takes to get out.
Yep.
I don't know how do you wait like that when you work on something and then it's several years before it comes out? How do you just forget about it and just move on?
Yeah, well, no, you always kind of hope. But the fact we're still shooting it, and it's funny because in the episode that we're shooting now, like every now and then we'll go out and film some scenes and stuff, but there'll be a scene where I'm literally probably 5-6 years younger, but then I walk through a door and I'll be the age that I am now, and hopefully you guys won't be able to know, but it's just really funny. Like we keep saying it's It's Boyhood in Space. If you guys ever watched Boyhood, about the Linklater that made that film.
Boyhood was the one that we watched him age, right?
Yeah. So this is Boyhood in Space, but accidentally.
I like that. I'm excited to
yeah.
see it. I know when we talked to Robert, that's been probably a year and a half ago.
Yeah, well, so you can actually go, Mark Zickery's, he has a YouTube channel. So if you go to Mr. Sci-Fi, he has all his sci-fi stuff on there, like history of things, but he also has, I think the first 2 hours are up there if you guys want to check it out. But
oh yeah,
it's fun.
Absolutely want to check that out. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I'll make a full report.
You're involved in a lot of just really neat projects, I think.
Thank you, Mike, man. Yeah, it's been, forever grateful, man. You just never know where it's going to go, and all of a sudden things start falling into place, and you're like, oh, let's ride this wave. So yeah.
How about Echoes?
Yeah, so Echoes was on Netflix. That was last year, I think it aired.
Yeah, that was a pretty good show. We enjoyed that one.
Kind of twists and turns there, but
I'd say it was very twisty.
Yeah, I was laughing because I worked with Matt Bomer again. So I tortured poor Matt Bomer in Doom Patrol over and over, and then I push him around in Echo. So we were laughing about that, saying, I think we're kind of typecasting each other. We're a package deal to get in there. But
he is such a good actor.
He's great, man. Yeah, he's a real nice guy too, real professional, and
that's one that Brett, my son Brett, that he is just a big fan of his. He does a lot of the animated voices stuff.
Yeah. A lot of DC stuff.
Became a fan of that.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried that? Have you tried to do some of the voice acting?
I have. I have a buddy of mine, Nicholas Corey, has his own YouTube channel that he it's called Just Fight Studios, and he'll call us up. We matches up. He'll reach it out to the audience, and the audience will be like, well, hey, what does he say? Like, who would you like to see fight? If you were to see anybody fight, and people will be like, how about, I don't know, like Godzilla, and you just kind of roll the dice, and then he animates it, puts them together, and then calls it like the usual suspects will come in and do some voices. Yeah.
I love
that. So
that.
Voiceover, I'd love to get into it in a much more involved way. I really enjoy it.
Yeah. Did you get to voice Godzilla?
I did not. I would love to just do that scream over and over though. But no, I got to be I was like Batman and Superman and
that's awesome.
All Might. And, it was a lot of fun. And War from I don't know.
That's pretty good. Who would you be, Mark? If you got to be on a show where you have to fight somebody, who would you be?
Who would I be, or who would I have to fight?
Well, who would you have to? Both. Yeah. Who would you be? Who would you be fighting?
Yes, depends on who I'd have to fight. I mean, obviously, I want to win.
Sure. That's the risk, though. Stepping into the ring.
Of course, I guess you don't. If I'm understanding the premise, you're not going to have a choice.
I mean,
this is true. Yeah.
Well,
I've
always been a fan of Terminator. I think Terminator would be pretty awesome.
Choice. Yeah.
Well, but are you like Arnold Terminator or
the
like
T-1000?
Yeah, or T-1000.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm more the Arnold.
Good choice.
I like the T-800.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the T-800 maybe take on some walkers or something. That'd be interesting.
Sure.
Well, I'd probably watch that show.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm in.
Or the flesh dies, so it comes back even worse than what he is.
Yeah, I like it.
Maybe you need to start writing some screenplays.
Hey, you gotta watch my last movie.
That's true. Yeah.
I did like editing and everything.
Really, it turned out great, man. That was fun.
Thanks.
That was cool.
Mark is the most talented guy, despite the fact that he couldn't get his camera to work. He's really talented.
In my basement right now. There's nobody down here, but
it's perfect though, man. Yeah, it's just creating. It's creating magic.
Yeah. The dead cards, when he started that, I thought that was the best idea. I was surprised nobody had done that.
So cool.
Because he's shining a light on a lot of people that don't necessarily get that light shown on them, but they're working just as hard. and to give them something, because from a fan side, we just love meeting people that have been on the show, so to give them something they can kind of hand out to fans. I thought it was a great idea.
No, it's amazing. Yeah, Mark, what can I ask, man? What kind of gave you that idea to do that?
I've just always liked to play in like graphic design. And so being a fan of The Walking Dead, I just got to know, I think it was first some of the saviors and the walkers. I went to Sonoya and I was like, man, this is just really cool, and started to meet some of the background folks. And one day I was like, I've never really collected cards, not a lot, but I saw these Walking Dead cards, I'm looking, I'm like, well, these are cool, but like, you don't have any other characters, like I'd like to see Reapers, and I'd like to see Saviors, because you see these people, you see them on there, you recognize them, and so I started mocking up these cards, and I had no idea what I was doing, but I mocked up a few cards and I posted them. I was like, hey, check it out. And a few of them was like, I'm on a Topps card. I'm like, no, sorry, no, I wasn't trying to go there. And then I had people wanting them. They were like, can I get those? I was like, no, it's just digital, and people would come back and say, you sure we can't get some of those from you? It's like, I'm pretty positive I have absolutely no clue how to print a trading card. Couldn't even tell you, because you can't run down here to Kinko's or Office Depot and get something printed. It just doesn't work like that.
Can I print 300 of these, please?
Yeah. So I started researching how to do it, how to print trading cards. And then once I did that, the big trade companies that do printing, they were like, yeah, we're not going to talk to you. You don't have a business license. So then I had to go get a business license and
make it official. Yeah.
So I had to figure it out and just kind of went from there. But it was interesting.
Man. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was a great idea. He followed through with it, and the cards are beautiful.
Yeah.
In a scary, horrible type of.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's just my personality. Like a scary, horrible,
horrible type personality. Oh, he's a great guy, just really scary, really terrifying.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I have fun with it.
Yeah, it's great, man.
Since I've switched gears and started a new job, I don't have quite as much time as I used to have, but I still try to make sure I stay in it. And of course, I'll take requests. People are like, hey, I had a guy, he wants them for business cards. He has a haunt that he starts up every year, and he has characters that are at the haunt. He's like, I want to do my haunt characters. And I've had indie directors come and say, hey, I want to promote my movie with your cards. And so I've made like a full set of characters. I've had like Baoling and just different people that these directors have, and they're like, I want a full set. I'm like, okay.
I think it's a great idea though, man, because it's unique too. You know what I mean? You could hand out a card and be like, whoa, just like you said, like, yeah, people get excited.
Here you go.
I think it's cool. Yeah.
Do you something different?
You got anything new on the horizon with them?
I mean, I've just been doing little odd end things here and there. I'd like to get Reapers, honestly, and I just don't like it. Sometimes it's hard for me to find pictures because a lot of times these guys don't have good opportunities to get shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I've even had some people go back and they're like, yeah, I got like similar clothes of what I wore, so I'll get some good poses and I can work with that. But
kind of cheated a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you need to expand into like soap operas and romantic comedies.
Sure. Yeah.
They don't have any trading cards.
There's all kinds of
people would
things.
love it, man. They love it.
I enjoy making all kinds, and I've had some really interesting requests. One guy was like, you ever thought about doing like it's like my wife does kind of this risque? I'm like, I don't know, man.
Like,
I think I bought those cards.
Yeah. Like I might have to make a different logo for that.
Yeah, it's kind of going a little bit different direction, but yeah.
I might get rebranded a little different. Yeah.
Well, you
Anyway,
got to have different, like the old video stores where they'd have the back room. Your website has to have that little secret section.
Yeah.
Right, with a curtain or whatever.
Just
Yeah.
a little curtain.
let's go behind the curtain. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for spending an hour with me. This has been great, Ethan. I'm such a fan of yours, and it seems like
thank you,
you're
Mike.
getting involved in bigger and bigger things. So we
Thank
love
you very
seeing
much, man.
stuff. Yeah, of course.
Well,
Couple things before we wrap up. Ethan, let me start this way. Do you have anything else you're working on that we can keep an eye out?
There's a couple things. I can't say anything, but there's one. It's not up on IMDb yet or anything, but on February 11th, I'll be on Young Rock. Have you guys watched Young
really?
Rock at all? So I got a fun little.
Are you playing Kevin Costner?
I am not. No, they wouldn't let me this time. They're like, no, you already did that. We'll try something different. I'm like, oh, what? What do you mean? I'm Kevin Costner. Yeah, but I'm excited about
awesome.
that. That's fun. Man. Yeah, but that'll
Have
be
you
February.
filmed it yet?
Yeah, I already filmed it. It shot out in Memphis, Tennessee.
Did you meet The Rock?
I did not get to meet The Rock.
Oh man.
Yeah,
That's
but I met
what a cool
Chris
opportunity.
Bowen. Yeah, so I'm excited about that. It'll be a fun little scene and stuff. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Where can we find you on social media?
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. It would be under my name, Ethan McDowell, and then the number 12. So ETHANMCDOWELL, number 12.
Does the 12 have any significance?
Birthday, yeah, 12
Oh,
12.
okay.
12
Okay.
12.
Thought maybe that
Yeah.
was a high school basketball number or something.
Yeah, no, I tried to get it once, but then the guys who actually played got it. So I'm like, okay, I'll just take this now.
Yeah, I know. Mark, where can we find the dead cards? And if we have any special requests, where do we send those to?
Everything's online. Facebook is at the Dead Cards. Instagram's at the Dead Cards. Twitter's at the Dead Cards.
You do a really good job. You do a really good job with the online stuff and the kind of the promotion. You're always putting something out there, and I think that's really cool that you do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody needs to check out your cards. They are
absolutely, man. Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Probably the last 6 months it's probably slowed down some, but I mean, I still try to make things.
It's because you haven't been on here for a while.
Trying to get ready for the next camp. Yeah,
it's coming up.
Yeah.
It's probably what, May? Is the camp in
May? Yeah.
Think
about it, Mike. Think about it, Mike.
I know I'm thinking about it. I need to come
you need to come down.
Yeah.
I don't know if Ethan's coming back or not, but
yeah, I'd love to, man. I had a great time. It was fun. Yeah.
Well, we've had Mark's brought so many people that go to the camp on the show. I need to come down there. That'd be fun.
I like that it's really laid back. Like you just actually get to hang out and meet people. It's great. It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good fan experience from everything I hear.
Yeah. Everybody's just right there. I feel like at bigger cons, it's kind of hard when there's a line around the building, out the door, and all that kind of thing. That's what was funny. Real quick with for Space Command, when I went down to Comic-Con that first time, we had a signing booth, and nobody knew. Who am I? I don't know. Who knows? But people didn't really know who we were. They saw our posters and stuff because I'm on the poster. And then sure enough, Doug Jones comes walking in, who's the king of any creature, anything.
Yeah.
Most loving guy in the world. And sure enough, that line just goes all the way around the building. They're going crazy for Doug Jones. He's a wonderful person. He takes his time with everybody, gives everybody a hug and talks, and really cool experience. But just funny to see that, literally just the whole line because of one man. And
I always like those individuals that are like that. The fans, they don't mind waiting. When they're legitimately taking a little bit of time with each person, the people in line, they kind of get that, and they just wait their turn. I just think conventions are the best because 99% of the time you're just dealing with just people out there having a good time that are just nice to each other.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, you're there just to have fun, buy some cool stuff, meet some cool people, and enjoy the whole week. Awesome. Yeah, it's great.
Ethan, do you do very many conventions?
I'm gonna start doing more now. Yeah, but I enjoy it. I enjoy doing it, but I haven't done too many. We did Comic-Con or San Diego Comic-Con a lot for Space Command. Maybe.
I mean, if you're going to do one, that's the one.
Yeah, well, it's a whole thing. Yeah, which is pretty amazing. I remember it brought my wife down to it, and she's like, I don't really know if it's my thing. And sure enough, she had a hat on and all kinds of stuff. She was fully in. She was fully in. But yeah,
was all
but it
in at
is
that point.
infectious. It's just yeah, like you
That's
said,
Well, I
everybody
mean,
just having a good time and just enjoying the
mean,
experience.
yeah, anybody that watches this podcast and like gets to know some of the things that you're involved in, I would definitely urge them to come and meet you.
Ah, thank you, Mark, man.
Ethan is
Thank you.
fantastic, Mike. I'm telling you. I was like, man, this guy's nice.
I'm sold.
Hey,
Ah,
yeah.
thanks, fellas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just in a lot of good things, and he's just a fantastic guy.
Ah, thank you, man.
He was kind
It-
enough to come over to my booth and sign my banner and hang out for a minute.
Yeah,
just-
man.
You
If
don't really
Mark
get-
vouches for you, you must be pretty good.
All right, I'll take it. Take
yeah, I don't like anybody.
it. So
That's
that
not
goes a long
true.
way, then, man.
That's not true.
Yeah, I don't buy that for 1 second.
No,
Well, thank you both so much. And Ethan, you come back at some point when you get
You
something
bet.
coming.
Yeah.
Just holler. We'll
You
put you back on.
Ah, thank you very much, Mike, man. Yeah,
Yeah, this has been terrific. All right, hold on 1 second.
you bet.
Find the pause button. There we go. I always love when Mark Roberts of the Deck Cards comes on the show. One of the best people, period, that you'll ever come across. If you're ever lucky enough to see Mark at a convention, go up and talk to him, introduce yourself, check out the cards are beautiful. They're incredible. But just a genuinely nice guy, just a good guy. I've been lucky enough to be friends with Mark for years, and just big fan. So thrilled anytime he comes on the program, and he always brings great guests. So this time he brought Ethan, and I absolutely loved Ethan. What a terrific guy! I've been a fan of his for a while, and he is every bit as nice as Mark is. So that was just a fun interview for me. And Ethan's such a talented actor and got some big projects kind of in the hopper. So I think you'll see a lot more of him. Lucky enough to be in the DC universe and the Marvel universe. That's pretty cool. Plus on The Walking Dead. Not bad. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Definitely appreciate you coming back to us episode after episode. If this is your first time seeing us or hearing us and you liked it, you'd like to know more, you'd like to support us, we could definitely use your help. If you're watching on YouTube, Meisterkhan Pod, just hit that subscribe button. It would really help us out. We'd really appreciate that. If you're watching or if you're listening, wherever you're listening to your podcast at, whatever app you're using, just subscribe there. That helps us as well. We really appreciate that. You can find all 518 episodes and counting of ours, video and audio versions on our website, meisterkhan.com. So definitely check us out there as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in again. Can't believe you keep coming back to us. I do think we have the best guest list of any podcast out there. I'll put our guests against anybody, but really appreciate that you come back to us episode after episode. Thank you guys so much. Till next time. Bye, everybody.